What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris bringing you Game 3 between EG and MYM from the Absolute Arena, King of the Hill. Let's see if EG can close it out right here, if MYM could rally and take 2 more games and then bring it to a deciding Game 5. Already MYM going some old school picks, like real old school picks with Tidehunter and Shadow Demon. This is not .74, at least I don't think it is. You can see the band's looking pretty normal, but Tidehunter and Shadow Demon has kind of fallen out of favor compared to other support heroes such as Jakiro, who's really the best support hero to pick up at this point in the game. Picking up Tidehunter this early, very uncharacteristic of really any game played at this stage of the game, at this stage of Dota. EG going for something a little bit more standard with the Darkseer plus Jakiro, so they're going to go for what looks like a .75 build. If MYM pick up the Morphling, I'm going to be seriously concerned for their entire team, because they clearly think that they are in a different version of Dota. But Shadow Demon does give MYM a good amount of support combined with the Tidehunter, so I guess they're just trying to get all the support heroes out of the way and then opening up the last couple of picks to their real hard-hitting heroes. Last game, MYM went for a straight team fight comp, and well, I don't think it's going to be the same right now. They're going to go for the Crystal Maiden third pick. That is very, very, very odd. CM is rarely seen nowadays because, well, there are better support heroes to pick. And then, combined with the Shadow Demon and Tidehunter, they have 3 support heroes for their first 3 picks. They have a ton of lane flexibility, like they could lane pretty much however they want. But this is going to tell EG to use their 3 bans to ban out 3 hard carry heroes, because unless MYM are completely off their rockers, that's what they're going to go for. They're going to go for people who need farm, are going to use that farm very well, and I guess try to take it in the late game. Evil Geniuses, on the other hand, they have a little bit more of a .75, I don't know if .76 is the version in this particular game, but you know, not .74, a little bit more of an ordinary lineup. They have the Darkseer to handle that hard lane. Queen of Pain probably going to go mid, and Jakiro probably going to be playing that support role. So now they do need a couple of hard-hitting heroes as well. Not as much as MYM, however. Queen of Pain can transition well into a kind of damage dealer if need be, but I think both teams are going to be banning out hard carries. When this kind of thing happens, you have a fairly interesting situation on your hands, because you have to think of what hard carries are we okay to let through, what hard carries do we want, what hard carries do they want. And then, well, you're going to have a lot of hard carries eliminated out of the pool, which is always a lot of fun, because when this happens, you get to see kind of odd hard carries like Sniper or, PA or something like that. Not sure if it's actually going to come to that. This version, or the time of this game being played, not quite the stage of the game when people realize that Magnus is a really big hero to pick up. You can see Sven being banned out at the 4th ban spot for MYM, so teams are starting to realize Sven is pretty good, but not quite the Sven Magnus metagame that we are seeing right now. But EG, I think they do have a little bit more damage coming out of here. MYM, they have a lot of support, and these heroes, although you know, Shadow Demon and Crystal Maiden could do a decent amount of damage if they get levels, you don't really, well, really all of the heroes could do a lot of damage if they get levels. You don't really see them get to that stage in the game, just because they're always played as the support heroes. They're always pressuring the lane, either passively or actively, doing pulls, all that stuff, and really, they're always going to lag behind other heroes as far as their levels go. Shadow Demon could lane in the mid lane, and Shadow Demon is a really great mid hero. He's kind of just that role of Shadow Demon is kind of overshadowed, however, by the fact that he's such a better support hero. And I don't know if Shadow Demon could outlane a Queen of Pain in the same lane. We'd have a ton of carries being banned out. Let's see who's left. We have Lifestealer, which MYM played in game 1. There is the Morphling, which no one is ever going to pick. PL, hello, being picked up for EG. It's going to be a little bit difficult for PL to succeed in this game because of the huge amount of team fight, and picking up PL 4th, well, I guess they wanted to kind of deny it for MYM, but now MYM can know to pick up someone with a little bit of AoE, and you know who has AoE? They could just pick up a straight Magnus, and that would be pretty friggin' sweet. I don't know if they're actually going to do that, however. It would be pretty cool. They would have a lot of team fight. Crystal Maiden gets some freezing field. We could see that. I don't think we're going to see that, but that would be really cool if we did. So PL going to be the carry pickup for Evil Geniuses. Let's see if MYM are going to pick up a carry hero at all. They might want to just power through the early stage of the game, knowing that Phantom Lancer won't be a huge factor for until he gets his items up, until he gets a couple of levels up, and then pick up more early game heroes like Windrunner, pick up a Sand King, or heroes of that sort, and then just go for a very aggressive early game. It'll be very, very risky because if things don't go your way, then once the clock hits the 30-minute mark, you might as well tap out GG because you are not going to win from there. But MYM more than likely probably going to pick up something like a Faceless Void, a decent counter to the Phantom Lancer, considering the Faceless Void usually does go for a Battle Fury, or he should go for a Battle Fury against the Phantom Lancer. And also the Chronosphere will be pretty good counter against the PL. Leshrac is going to be the pickup for MYM. And Evil Genius is going to cap off their lineup with a Venomancer, a very stable support hero. Now MYM, I have no idea what they're doing right now. This is very odd. They're gonna cap off their lineup with the Storm Spirit, so they are in fact going to go for that really early game based build. Gonna hopefully overpower Evil Geniuses before PL could actually get too big. The question is, have they picked up too many fragile heroes? E.g., they could do some pretty good damage. Jo especially is going to be one of the biggest threats for MYM. They do have the Split Earth, they pull from Calculus as well as the Frostbite from Atsi, so they could potentially get the Queen of Pain nailed down. But it's still going to be very much in the hands of MYM to make this game happen. Evil Geniuses, they could sit back and wait all day long, and then once PL gets big enough, then you just A-click and win the game. So MYM, they're going to have to rely very heavily on the ganks, having so many support heroes on their lineup. And you know how usually you have that Chinese system where 1 is the most farmed and 5 is the least? What the hell are you going to assign right here? There's a Tidehunter who looks like he's going to go for a little bit more farming role, but a Shadow Demon as well as CM, they're like all tied for 5th, and that's a really odd situation you have right there. Anyway, Calculus is going to be playing Storm Spirit. Looks like he's heading towards the top lane actually, not midding. Atsi is going to be supporting him as the Crystal Maiden. Mid lane is going to be Kojqua on the Leshrac. Nino is going to be playing that support Shadow Demon. That leaves Balsam. Looks like he's going to go to the hard lane where it's going to be met by Demons, Darkseer. Jo is going to be handling mid with Malk as well as Bdiz on and Fear on the Venomancer, Twin-Headed Dragon, Jakiro, and Phantom Lancer respectively. Don't really know where Nino is actually going to end up sticking, but this tri-lane from EG is pretty deadly. They don't have any stuns, but they shouldn't actually need stuns. They just have a lot of burst damage, and ha! It's too late, man. It's too late. I'm just gonna say, too late. Until this game is over. You are too late, sir. If I messaged you like 20 minutes ago, then ha! Oh. We're gonna play eventually, however. Hopefully we get some more good games out. Oh no, Atsi, you do not want to be there. Gale gonna fly out as well as the Ice Path. The right click should be enough to kill the Crystal Maiden. The Frostbite going to slow down Malk, and Nino is coming in to support. Disruption onto the Twin-Headed Dragon, and Atsi is going to drop very, very low. A couple more right clicks should be enough, but no, she is just barely going to survive. Malk can take some heavy damage in retaliation. Both Venomancer as well as Crystal Maiden pretty roughed up from that engagement, but what's done is done, and there's just a little bit of mana spent on both sides, but ultimately it's going to be a fair wash. Demon picking up an invisibility rune plus an Ion Shell. Balsam, he's losing HP and he doesn't know why. Try to juke it out, I guess, but this Ion Shell is going to do a lot of damage to Balsam, so much damage to Balsam. Demon, I don't want to say has already won the lane, but look, he's already brought down Balsam to less than half HP with just a little bit of mana. Really, really fortunate circumstances from Demon. Didn't get much from that lane, but Tidehunter didn't get anything from that lane, so in the situation where you have a melee versus a melee, usually the Tidehunter should do decently, but Demons, Darkseer, Darkseer in general, really, it's so hard to lane up against Darkseer when you're a melee hero, and Balsam, his Anchor Smash is pretty much like a burst Ion Shell, and that doesn't do as much damage, so Balsam is going to struggle a little bit on this bottom lane, although he is at least going to be able to get up a couple of levels because of just the melee versus melee scenario. Kojqua in the mid lane versus Jo's Queen of Pain. Kojqua actually opting for Lightning Storm. Very, very peculiar, actually. I guess they kind of want the burst, but you don't really need that much burst. You have a lot of burst coming from your friendly heroes. I do feel like Edict would be a little bit more of a better choice. There's no reason to pick up the Lightning Storm as far as counter push goes. because EG's push is all going to be in the Plague Ward, it's going to be in Liquid Fire, and really they're not going to be focusing on the pushes all that much. I guess he's just going to try to do it to shut down Jo as much as he can. Edict and Split Earth is a little bit more of a passive laning phase, unless you get a little bit of support from your friendlies, but Lightning you actually could deal some damage, like that. It's not that much damage, and it costs a crap ton of mana. So I don't exactly know why koth is going for this build, but hey, what's done is done. He already has 2 skill points invested into it, and on an experienced reliant hero such as Leshrac, you can't really afford to switch it up that much, although he is getting mid lane experience, so he can make some things happen, although once you invest 2 points to the Lightning Storm, that usually means that's it, you're committed. Beatus and Malk, they're going to find Nino and perfectly hit the Ice Path on average between the two of them, so no one is actually going to get hit by that. Fear has been farming 9-4 versus Calculus of 6-3. A little bit of a tri-lane versus tri-lane situation here. The disruption is going to be absolutely huge in isolating a target. Also a pretty good counter to the Phantom Lancer, because the illusions from Phantom Lancer could proc illusions of their own, although they don't last very long at all. But if anything is going to happen, it's probably going to happen on this top lane, unless Balsam gets shredded down by another Ion Shell. Demon's holding on to a lot of his tangos. There we go, burning through a couple of those. But look towards initiation onto Calculus. There you go. All the spells landing at the same time. Ice Path is also going to land. Calculus should drop. Friendly disruption from the Nino, going to keep him alive for just a little more, but a dual breath is going to be timed perfectly. Venomancer gets the kill onto Calculus. No deny attempt from the Nino. That is going to give first blood to EG. 10 stick charges on the Venomancer as well. Pick that up as his first item. Knowing that he was going to be going up against a tri-lane, a very smart thing to do, actually. Because these types of heroes in the tri-lane are types of heroes that really spam out their spells. Storm Spirit is you're going to use the static remnant quite a lot. And if you could force out some aggression, if you could be aggressive, then you could force out spells from the Nino as well. So EG already taking a pretty good lead in this game. I would say all lanes are actually being won from EG. Balsam even in a little bit of trouble. The Ion Shell plus one more punch from the Darkseer is going to do in the Tidehunter. And well, the bot lane has obviously been won by EG. Let's see how this mid lane's doing. Jo, if I could click on him, 22 for 3 on the Queen of Pain versus koth, 22 for 5 with 3 points in Lightning. The mid lane is at least a wash, but MYM, I don't know about this top lane. They granted the Storm Spirit doesn't need as much farm as the Phantom Lancer to actually be effective, but the fact that Phantom Lancer is actually getting this much farm, and he's feeling so safe, he's not even getting any points at Doppelwalk. I guess Doppelwalk won't really help you when there's sentry wards on the enemy Crystal Maiden, but still, just a very bold play from Fear. Now they could even go again. Beat is sitting in a perfect position. There goes the Phantom Lance. Not going to do all that much. We're going to keep our eyes up onto this top lane, at least until Balsam decides he is going to die again to Demon. And MYM, well, they have to make use of their early game. Phantom Lancer, as a carry hero, does give a little bit more early game than some other ones with the Spirit Lance. Does some pretty good damage. The slow is also very nice. But MYM, they do not have a late game contingency strategy. Their strategy is all going to be in the early stage of the game, and well, so far it's not exactly panning out for them. koth holding the mid lane down pretty decently, but he's not going to be able to bottle very effectively at all. Jo's level 6, whereas koth is also level 6. Does have the splitter, so he could put out some pretty heavy damage to the Queen of Pain. Don't think he'll be actually able to kill her without some support. Jo even moving up towards the top lane. He's going to run into Nino, who is executing a pull onto the top lane. Level 2 Shadow Demon versus a level 6 Queen of Pain. Unless Nino gets a very clutch. Oh no, there's a team fight happening. Axe is going to drop. Malk using all his stick charges to try to survive the tower. He is going to drop to it, but the Queen of Pain's Sonic Wave has also been brought out. Tidehunter taking down the Darkseer. I suppose Darkseer trying to do a little bit of lane cutting, and that didn't exactly pan out for them. But nonetheless, after all those kills all over the map, the score now stands at 4-2. My apologies for missing this engagement. I thought Jo was going to go for the Shadow Demon. The tower is going to drop to Fear, poking that down with his trident. That's going to give him a pretty large boost of gold. First tower drop from EG. Would not really expect it with MYM's lineup. You would think that with the pressure that they have, or would be capable of putting on, they would be just jumping at the chance to pick up some towers. Balsam taking a little bit of damage from this Ion Shell Demon, trying to get in the way for a body block, but if he just runs with Balsam vacuuming him back as well, he's going to punch down the Tidehunter for his second kill on this bot lane. He has so many rings of regen on this hero, and he's not going to run to koth. I don't know if he knew he was coming, but either way, Demon should be fine here. Now Fear going to take up his role on the safe lane, start farming that. Meantime, Melk as well as Beat is moving into the mid lane, possibly going to keep sliding down. koth is going to run to Melk, but he doesn't have the Edict. He actually, I don't know if he can get a kill on Venomancer. Okay, I changed my mind. He definitely can, especially with the haste rune. Melk is going to live just barely. One more right click is going to do him in.
An exquisite toxin. 1,000 of your kind.
So the Leshrac does pick up a free kill. When you're level 8 versus a level 4 Venomancer, it's quite easy to do such things. Just burst him down. Level 4. I guess the one was level 3 by the time they engaged. But still a very easy pick off from koth, and that's really what MYM to do. They need to make use of their burst. But EG, they're not going to let that happen so easily, because Darkseer is, so he's actually building up Tranquil Boots, but he had 2 rings of regen. I thought he was going to build straight into a hood, which would have helped him so much. Once you pick up that hood as Darkseer, especially against this enemy team, you're pretty much invulnerable. You can do whatever the hell you want, and you'll be fine. If you get into a little bit of trouble because you're sitting in the right-click range for a little bit too long, then you just peace out and surge away. Calculus taking a little bit of damage from the tower. The Ion Shell might be enough. He doesn't have his level 6 ultimate. He's going to just barely survive, salving up as well. Disruption onto Demon. He does take a curse as well. Jo is going to come in, looking for a kill onto the Nino. Shadow Strike going to fly. He's going to teleport himself out of there. However, Vacuum not available. Nino is going to survive, but Atsi is also going to try to teleport out, but he will not be as lucky. The right clicks will be enough to kill the Crystal Maiden. Not exactly getting a whole lot from that engagement, did EG, but hey, they got one hero. And that's I'm sure they'll be okay with that. They aren't exactly an early game based team. Oh, Balsam, what are you doing at such low HP? He's going to take a Spirit Lance, as well as a Dual Breath Ice Path. Balsam is going to drop to Fear as well as Beat is. MYM should not be losing these heroes like this. This is not what they could afford to do. Faith Lancer with 103, 2200 gold in the bank, could rush a Relic. And once he gets that, I don't know what MYM could do. They could try to use his clones against him, but that will only take you for how long actually? 5 seconds? 8 seconds? That's 8 seconds of game time, but I don't know if that's actually going to be enough. Calculus still not yet level 6. He is just barely not there. Just needs 60 more experience. But Malk and Demon catch him off at the perfect timing, and Storm Spirit drops again for the 3rd time. This tri-lane for MYM, that's why you don't see Storm Spirits in the tri-lane. That's why Storm Spirit always goes onto the mid lane. Because when you do that, you get soul lane experience. Jo is level 8. Storm Spirit would have been at least that level, and he wouldn't have died twice, or probably wouldn't have died twice. Situations would have been different at least. EG on the mid lane, trying to push back this tier 1 mid tower, forcing out MYM to go to these lanes. And really, MYM, they're so reliant on Storm Spirit for initiation. I guess they could try to look for a disruption, but it's going to be hard for MYM. It's going to be really hard because EG, they just have so many levels at this point. Level 5 versus the level 3, level 5 on the support heroes. Really, everything is just going the way of EG as we see the gold grass slowly starting to climb in EG's favor. But in the meantime, Jo can get initiated upon, curse on him, but he should be able to blink out. No, perfect Ravage from Balsam. Huge damage onto Jo, and he's going to drop. Malk is not done yet. He's going to get 1 hit onto Atsi, 2 hits onto Atsi. Denial attempt from the Nino, but it's not going to be enough. Beatus is coming in with that dual breath, slowing down Balsam. In the meantime, Queen of Pain does buy back into the game. koth is here, but he doesn't have any mana. Malk is standing his ground with a double damage rune. Balsam is going to drop to the poison. He should drop to the poison. There he goes. It's a 2-2 trade, but here comes Jo once again with an Ion Shell from his friendly. There's a Sonic Wave obliterating the life of the Leshrac, and Nino is going to be on the run. Should be safe enough, and he is going to be the only one to make his way out here. Demon is going to run into Calculus, but there's not enough damage onto the Storm Spirit to actually kill him. Calculus taking some very heavy damage. Blink forward from Jo. Will he actually do it? Surging forward is the Queen of Pain. Calculus is completely out of mana. Jo is very low on mana as well, and he doesn't want to blink into a potential Shadow Demon plus CM combo. That will mean his death. He's going to fall back, but EG taking a very, very quick early game advantage, 11-6 in this game. Surprisingly enough, koth, the Leshrac, is still first place as far as the gold per minute is concerned. And Fear, look at the balls on this guy. How does he even walk? No doppel walk, 11 minutes into the game, level 8. Might cost him his life right now. He's going to get dusted, which is completely unnecessary because he's just gonna get shredded underneath the tier 1 tower. Huge zip in from the Storm Spirit, burning all of his mana. or most of his mana. How the hell does he have that much mana? What if I zipped that way? I would have lost mana, all my mana a long time ago. Malk is going to drop right here to the lightning from the Shrek. I guess he burned his magic charges mid-flight, but he went like from here to here. How? How do these pro players do it? Is there some sort of trick I don't know as Storm Spirit where you could actually use your ball lightning for more distance if you like press the right number combination or something? Like you have to put in the contra code in order to get like additional mana, 30 additional mana regeneration per second. I don't know. But 11 to 8, MYM striking back just a little bit. They have to keep applying this pressure, however. Make sure that Fear doesn't get his items up. He's actually went for Chenkobutsu, Ring of Aquila, so gearing up the basic items, not going to straight rush that relic. Fear could probably go for a Diffusal Blade. It would be very useful, although you don't really want to put the Diffusal Blade in the hands of the Shadow Demon. Looks like MYM did not notice that their tower was in denial range. They're going to give that tower up to Fear, and with another 2,000 gold in his bank 12 minutes into the game, it might not be too late for him to get that relic. All the while, Jo on the top lane is pushing that out. Does have the very standard Queen of Pain set of items. If this Null Talisman turns into a Dagon, I do think that'll actually be a very, very appropriate choice. You want early mid-game power to fight back against MYM's early mid-game power. And Dagon is exactly that item. It doesn't scale into the late game, but that's the entire point of the item, is that you don't need Queen of Pain to scale into the late game. You have Phantom Lancer to do that. Apparently is okay with sitting there letting a ranged creep attack him. But MYM, they need to be a little bit more active. They need to be more aggressive. But what I know of MYM is that they're not exactly a turbo aggressive team. So I don't know, this team comp just, first of all, it's completely bewildering why they would run a comp like this when they could just as easily not. And this is not something that you see. It's something that you see very, very rarely. So yeah, MYM, I feel, drawing into a little bit of a disadvantage from the start, and in a deciding game, I think they would fall back on something that they know a little bit better. I haven't seen them do this. Well, maybe this might be something that they do very well, but I honestly don't know. Fear, still level 8, but still with no points in Dop Walk. Guys, if you're at home and if you're thinking of picking up Phantom Lancer, do get Doppelwalk. Kochva gonna get jumped by 3 heroes, and he doesn't have a shot. There's the Sonic Wave doing him and also hitting Atsi, and he's going to drop 2 illusions for the Venomancer. Blink forward from Jo, gonna get a hit onto Balsam as well as the Nino. Here comes Fear from the other end. Balsam does have a Ravage, so he shouldn't die yet unless he gets stun locked. Where's the Ravage? Balsam is going to get walled off by the Ice Path, and he's gonna try to teleport in. The Wall of Replica is just not going to do enough damage. Balsam barely escapes with his life. Wall of Replica kind of wasted, but really Wall of Replica won't do much in this game anyway. Who are you going to copy? The Storm Spirit? The Storm Spirit does 83 damage, which is, I guess, not bad, but that damage isn't really going to increase, and really all these supports don't really do that much damage in general, so they're not the most important spell this game. The Vacuum as well as the Ion Shell will be a lot more devastating. Bot tier 2 tower being pushed now as MYM. They're going to mount a defense. It is going to be successful. Ice Path going to hold out Kochko, who's teleporting into this game, into this lane, I'm sorry, as Beat is trying to make his way out. He should be fine. The amount of movement speed he has is just as much. Yeah, he's fine. And MYM, they need to be more aggressive. They need to just look for EG heroes to pick off, but EG, they've been the ones who are grouping together and looking for kills. You can see MYM just already so early on the back foot, and really, what could they do? They cannot wait. They need to change their playstyle, and they need to do it right now. Denial in the tier 2 bot lane is going to help, but ultimately is going to be enough. B-Diz, Demon, and Malk looking for a rumble as Nino throws out a little bit of a curse onto B-Diz. A little bit of damage, but Demonic Purge as well. B-Diz is going to take a sizable chunk of damage from this, but Balsam going to run right into an entire Jakiro spell combo. At least going to save that Jakiro. In the meantime, top lane Fear finally picked up the Doppelwalk. Jeez. Now Calculus. Oh, Calculus could actually go and just die from this. That is probably not the best thing to do. Fear is dusted up, but he could turn around for Kochpa. It's going to be very close. Split Earth is dodge. Spirit Lance throw, and Fear is going to hide. He does have a salve. He should salve up right now. He is going to do that. Kochka is going to bottle up as well. Fear running out of there with the Doppelwalk. Kochba gonna blindly split Earth, but Fear is no longer there. He does still have a lot of mana. He could go in on this one more time. There's the Lance onto Kochba. He's gonna pop off his Edict, but it's going to do a lot of damage to that illusion. Fear just needs to chase for just a little bit more. 1 second until that Lance is on cooldown. There it is. Not enough damage to actually kill him off. In the meantime, the mid lane Beatus has taken down the Tidehunter with the help of Jo, as well as Malk. Sonic Wave was burned for that kill, and EG just taking the pressure all over the place. When a Storm Spirit zips in for a Phantom Lancer, the Phantom Lancer is not supposed to be able to turn around and kill the Storm Spirit. Now Phantom Lancer with 3,800 gold in the bank. That is his relic if he chooses to go for that build. He could even buy up a Diffusal Blade straight up if he wants to. But if you have this much gold, just go for the relic. I personally don't like the relic as much as Diffusal, but if I find myself with 4,200 gold 17 minutes into the game, I'm going to get that relic. I am definitely going to do that. So MYM, they are not looking good this game at all. The gold advantage, experience advantage, both climbing further and further into EG's lead. And, well, this could be a little bit of a pickup for them. They're going to find a courier with a relic on it. That's going to suck. So what was a 17-minute relic is now going to be a 20-minute relic. Meantime, the mid lane, Kochba taking huge amounts of damage from that ultimate from Jakiro. Ravage does come up from Balsam. He's going to anchor smash down Demon, but Beatus and Malk still very much alive, and Balsam taking very heavy poison damage. He's going to drop the stacks of Shadow Poison. He's going to do some heavy damage, but here comes Jo. Going to instantly kill off Nino. No, it's not going to be quite enough. Doesn't have that ultimate either. The Urn Charge plus the Ice Path. Ice Path not going to hit, but the Sonic Wave from the Scream Pain from Jo will be enough to kill off the Shadow Demon. Atsi now in a very, very bad position. He's going to try to bring down Melk before he dies, but the Sonic Wave up again for Jo. He's going to kill him off. Calculus going to zip in. Going to kill off Melk immediately. Here comes Demon as well as Jo. Calculus going to get vacuumed back and use the rest of his mana to try to get out of their Ice Path. Not in range, however. Jo does have a Scream Pain. Once again, he's going to go in for the Storm Spirit, and that is a complete team wipe in favor of EG. And that was a 4v5, or like a moving 4v5. Like, EG had 4 constantly, and MYM were kind of going in one at a time, Power Ranger style. All the while, Phantom Lancer is making bank. Now does have his Radiance, so in 150 he will get that full item. That top lane is going to be pushed more and more. This game is slowly slipping out of the clutches of MYM. It wasn't even in their clutches. It's slowly slipping out of the realm of possibility for MYM. Queen of Pain is going to rush up a straight sheep, and Storm Spirit, once that happens, you need a BKB. If you zip in and you get hexed, you die. There's no way around it. Actually, I guess the only way around that is the Shadow Demon Disruption. But yeah, that isn't going to be enough, quite honestly. So Jo is going to have that very, very important item. I think he could even change his build. He could say, screw that, I'm going to go for Iascati, and it would work, because EG, they're so far ahead, and they're going to keep being ahead just by farming. Because MYM, they're not pressuring EG enough. Here's some pressure that they need to do. No, zipping in, Jo with the fast fingers is going to blink on out of there. Now as we reach the 20-minute mark, Phantom Lancer has 47 seconds until his Radiance is complete. And then once that happens, MYM, their heroes are still very soft. Like, the Shrek does have some pretty good health items. Tidehunter has high base HP, but doesn't have any health items of its own. Crystal Maiden soft, Shadow Demon soft, Fear going to get dusted as well as purged. He might die from this one. Kochba is looking for the lightning, looking for the split earth. It's not going to happen. Spirit Lance onto Kochba as Beatus and Malk are here to support their friendly Phantom Lancer. Nino taking some heavy damage from Jo. Going to get hit by the Ice Path. Jo going to blink straight in for that kill. Has a haste rune on himself. Kochba is going to drop as well to the Phantom Lancer. And MYM, they're trying to get this tier 1 on the bot lane, which they might get unless Demon just wants to come in and kill them all. Here comes teleportation from Malk. There's the wall of replicas as well as the vacuum. Ravage being forced out. Malk taking heavy damage. He's going to get smashed down by the Tidehunter, but he's going to drop to the tower. As well as Atsi might make it out. Yeah, he will make it out. Even Darkseer not even getting close enough to punch the Crystal Maiden. He's going to be a gentleman and let the lady out. But 23 for 11, this is not the way MYM's strategy was supposed to go. They were supposed to be very aggressive. They were supposed to get the early game kills and then have some initiation and team fight later on in the game. But the strategy did not work, and I feel like EG are just going to be strong enough to just move and win the game. The tier 3 is going to fall, and what is Phantom Lancer buying a Radiance plus a Vit booster 21 minutes into the game. This guy's loaded, man. This guy is so very loaded. And EG, they're looking to continue their streak as the kings of the hill. Honestly, I don't think MYM have what it takes anymore. With the Relic up on Fear, he could probably go straight Heart. Vanguard is an option as well. I don't know if Fear is actually going to do that. The damage block won't do him all that much for the team that he's up against. It's probably the best bet for him is just rush straight Heart, or even get a Hood. Darkseer already does have a pipe, and now MYM, they're going to be doing next to nothing as far as damage is concerned. Fear might be in a little bit of trouble, but where is Pink? Pink is still a little bit too far away. Phantom Lancer is going to run and spot out the danger, and he is going to do sizable damage to both Atsi and Nina before he goes down. Look at the damage he's doing to these two. It's what, a fourth of their HP, a fifth of their HP with one illusion Radiance Burn. Melk looking for initiation on here on this top lane. We do have Jo also being very aggressive. He's going to settle for the Nino, who doesn't have a shot. There he goes. Sonic Waves down, using that Hex to cancel that teleportation, and well, everyone is converging onto this top lane. Fear is a little bit far behind, but he's going to make his way up here soon enough. All the tier 2 towers are down for MYM, and well, the smoke is revealed at least. I guess that's a little bit of something for MYM, but that is only going to matter for the next like minute. And it might not even matter. Demon can open up with the Wall of Replica, the pretty bad Wall of Replica, quite honestly. Going to pop up his pipe just for himself. He's getting a little bit over aggressive. He's going to drop to the spell damage. Ravage pops off his beat, takes a couple of tower shots. Assi dropping down the freezing field as well. So 2 down immediately for EG, getting a little bit too over aggressive. I guess that's one way that MYM can get back into this, is if EG just decide to suicide. That would be a great way to get back into this game. But if EG play like they have been playing, then they should be fine. If they like doing stuff like this, just nailing Calculus to the floor. Oh no, oh my god, what happened to Calculus? That is the most terrifying thing I've seen in my life. Oh my god. Look at it. Actually, don't look at it. You'll have nightmares. You wouldn't sleep for a week. I saw Undying when he was broken down. That was pretty scary, but not nearly as scary as this. This is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's what? Oh my god, I can't stop looking at it though. I can't stop. Okay, Darkseer's back up. He's gonna have his Wall of Replica in another 40 seconds, and maybe then he will get initiation that isn't a complete disaster. Fear on the front line is gonna head towards the Diffusal Blade, just holding that bit booster for a little bit more health. Gonna build it into a heart later on, perhaps. Fear, what is his skill build so far? He has 2 into 3 to all attributes, so he has 2 points of stats. And yeah, he's probably going to head towards a little bit of Juxtapose now. Beat is going to get initiated upon, but instant Hex. The Nino will be here to save Calculus once again. Oh no, he will not. Too far away with those trees in the way. Balsam on the front lines, but he doesn't have the Ravage. There's the vacuum back onto all 3. Atsi's going to get smacked down by Fear. Now Coach Buzz on the run. The Radiance, as well as the Wall of Replica being dropped down on him. Balsam trying to hide in the jungle. He will make it out. There's no interruption here. Spirit Lance, I don't think it stuns anymore, but Jo in the jungle combined with Beat' power. They're going to kill 4 of MYM's side, and now this is going to be an attempt on the Raxes. Jo is going to blink up ahead for some reason, and well, Tidehunter's the only one alive, and he doesn't have the Ravage for another 30 seconds, and in that time, these Raxes are going to die. Liquid Fire has been maxed out first by Beat', and this tower is attacking so very slowly against Phantom Lancer illusions. Tower is going to drop as Demon is doing a couple of victory laps around those Raxes, knowing that he has a little bit more prize money in his wallet, unless EG takes a huge cut. But hey, these guys are sponsored by EG, and EG are friggin' loaded. I don't know how they have that much money. It's absurd. But the Raxes are going to drop first mid, then range, and hell, they could even take a fight right here, vacuuming Balsam back into the Ice Path for a little bit of Dual Breath action as well. Slowed to a crawl, taking very heavy damage from these illusions, plus Malk's maxed out Poison Sting of all things. Didn't go for Plague Wards. Why do that when you can go for a killing build? Kochba has picked up a BKB, but at this point it's a little bit too little too late. Here on the front lines, Calculus is going to get burst down by the Queen of Pain. Beautiful Ice Path, catching 2. That's going to mean the death of both of them. Kochba is going to get back into the Macro Pyre, and 4 down for MYM. The only one to survive this time is a Shadow Demon. Calculus has had enough, and MYM, they get completely wiped 3-0 in the Absolute Arena. King of the Hill that's going to be it. EG are going to move on, and personally, I'm pretty happy about that, because you know why? Now there's a chance, a small chance maybe, but a chance that the next people to challenge EG will be Team Liquid. And I will be so very excited if that is going to happen. That's going to be it for me, guys. Everyone from MYM has left the game. Let it be known. Wait, I want to see what Beatus has to say. That's true. He dove the fountain and then he just ghost sceptered immediately. So you can follow Demon, I guess, but that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any constructive or destructive criticism, if you have any constructive or destructive criticism, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this cast, please like and subscribe, and really tell me what you guys want to see from this channel in the future. But EG, they're going to continue their streak as the Kings of the Hill for the Absolute Arena King of the Hill. Thanks for watching, guys. GG.